Hello, welcome to the first weekly vlog of 2021. Technically, it's still 2020. It is still December when I'm kicking this vlog off on Wednesday, December 30th. Usually I kick these weekly vlogs off on Mondays, but honestly, I've been feeling kind of meh the past 2 days. I worked my full-time job Monday and Tuesday this week, and I just haven't felt like sharing anything. I have a couple products that I want to share with you today, and I meant to do them. I literally put them in my planner to do both Monday and Tuesday and did not do it either day or kick off the vlog. I really wasn't feeling it. But this morning, Sam and I sat and had a conversation about goals. We have never really set goals together as a couple. I mean, we will talk about our relationship, but we've never sat down and discussed each other's goals. He doesn't even really watch my goals videos. Like, I only discuss things with him when it is going to impact his life. Like, if there is a thing, an action step that I'm taking that's going to impact him. We've never really sat and discuss, like, here are all the things that I'm working towards. And that is like, that's something I should have changed a long time ago, if I'm being honest. I can't believe it took us this long. We've been together 4.5 years, and I have set goals for that entire time, and I cannot believe that we haven't sat down and had conversations like this, but it was awesome. So we sat down, I shared all of my 2021 goals with him, basically the video that I shared with you talking about my 2021 goals, the 6 goals that I have for the new year. I shared those with him. I shared some of the details, some of the things that will impact him and how that intertwines, and just shared more than I have in the past so that he can know what I'm working towards and he can support me. And then vice versa, he shared some goals that he had with me. He has never really set goals in the past except for in his business. He will set business goals all the time, but he's never really set personal goals, or he's never like written them down, and he still hasn't written them down yet. He shared them out loud, but he didn't write anything down because he is going to try the Makse Life companion notebook system, but I need to share it with you first before I can give it to him to write in. So that is one of the things I need to get done today so that I can give him the notebooks and he can start writing down his goals. I'm so excited for him. So excited, and as much of it that he'll let me share with you, I definitely will. But I'm really excited for him to use the Makse Life companion system. I mean, it's called the companion system because it's meant for people who have a planning system of their own, that they already like a planner of their own and they just want the goals portion. But I think it's also really good for people who don't need a whole planning system. I mean, he uses a Google Cal for his work business stuff and like big things like when we have weddings and whatnot, but he doesn't really have like, he doesn't have a planner at all. And so it's good, I think, for people who aren't big planners and they just want somewhere to kind of track their progress and make sure that they're checking in with all those areas. That's where I think it's going to be really helpful for him. Like I said, he's always really been ambitious and set business goals, but I think some of these goals he has in other areas of his life this year, having a place to write those down and make sure that he's checking in with them every single week, I think is going to be huge for him. So I'm really excited. I need to get that filmed for this vlog so that I can pass that back to him. I actually have 3 planners to share with you as part of this vlog. I'm just in a place where I want to get them out and share them with you and not make them their own video. They also don't, I guess they kind of go together. They're all goal-focused planners, truthfully, but I don't know. I'm at the point where it is going to take very specific planners to make it their own video. Otherwise, they're going to be a part of vlogs. You can always skip over them if you are not interested in seeing any more planners because you have your planner system for 2021 and you're like, Laken, I'm good. I don't need to see any more planners. So let me grab my iPad and tell you what else I have on the docket for today. So like I mentioned, today is Wednesday and I do have the next 5 days off of work to kick off the new year. I mean, we don't get all this time off. I'm taking today and tomorrow as vacation days, and then we get Friday and then Saturday and Sunday. So I have 5 full days off, and I know that I want to get some stuff done, but I know that I also want to have some rest time as we go into the new year, and I also want to spend time with my family. So what I did was I started with a complete brain dump. I did like a mind map style brain dump on my iPad. I can't show you the whole thing because there's some secrets on here that I'm not quite ready to share yet, but I'll show you parts of it. So I started by getting just all the ideas out that I have for the next 5 days. And then what I did was I picked 3 of the 5 days that I'm going to actually have a to-do list. So today, Wednesday, tomorrow, and Saturday are days that I'm actually going to do something. Friday, I want to make sure is a complete nothing. I'm not trying to do anything that day. I mean, I might feel a little rough depending on how much fun we have tomorrow night, but I just want Friday to be literally relaxing, spending the first day of the new year doing whatever I want to do. And then Sunday is kind of a catch-up day. So if I don't get to all the things Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, then Sunday is kind of a catch-up day to kick off the first Monday of the new year, which is always a super motivating day. So I picked 3 colors and I did Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday, and then I went through and I highlighted what I'm gonna try to get done each of those 3 days so that I wasn't making some massive to-do list on any one of the days and not being able to get it all done, so that it's not like a full 100% day. Now, I have talked in the past, I think I'm kind of torn whether I think it's better to just do one long day and power through and then take like a full day off. And I'm still doing that by taking Friday off, but really these are gonna be kind of like 50 to 75% days. I mean, it's already noon and I haven't started on anything on this list, except I did dye my hair. That was one thing I wanted to get done today. Well, I wanted my mom to get to it today. So I have my list of things that I'm gonna work on today, and that is all highlighted in yellow. And I'm gonna do my best to get to all of that and then still enjoy the evening with my family. And then same thing with all the things on Thursday. Tomorrow, hopefully I'll get a slightly earlier start than I did today. And then, so I have the evening to hang out with my family, and then Saturday, get some stuff done. So that's how I'm kind of approaching the next 5 days to kick off the new year. I have so many things that I'm working on, and just so many, I'm excited now. The last 2 days have been rough, but I am really excited and motivated to get going on all of my goals. Okay, like I mentioned, I have 3 planners here to show you. All the timestamps will be linked down below. So if there's only one that you want to look at, or you don't want to look at any of them and just want to jump ahead to the next part of the vlog, you can do that. But the 3 I have here to show you are the Makse Life Companion Notebooks, the Finisher's Journal, and then the Vibe and Thrive Planner from Judy Holler, who is an author that I absolutely love, and her podcast, I love that too. I've talked about her before. Her book, Fear is My Homeboy, has made a huge difference in my life. So let's start with the Makse Life Companion Notebooks. Like I mentioned, these are really made for somebody who has a planning system that they absolutely love, but they just want some additional goal setting. And it comes in a pack of 5. I'll show you. The first one is the whole goal setting system, and then there is a little notebook for each quarter of the year. They are also just beautifully done. I mean, Makse Life in general is so good about their aesthetic and just all of their products being super high quality. So this first one is just stapled closed because it's super thin. And this just has the whole goal setting section. So all of the compass assessment questions, how the intentions page, how to set goals, some ideas, annual, monthly, and weekly goals. And then it has a space to write your annual goals. So for all 8 areas of life. These are all the same pages that are in the big Makse Life planner, but it is shrunk down to this A5 sized planner and just stapled together. So this is just that first piece. And then each quarter you have an individual little notebook. So they're all a different color, so you can tell them apart, but they're all kind of the same cool toned color family, and they all have a quote on the outside. So this is the Q4, hold on to your vision, good things are coming. That one's my favorite for sure. Dare to dream, and then just begin is Q1, and this one is gray. And these are what's called a perfect binding, and they are just, the quality is fantastic, so that they will lay flat. They're also perforated if you wanted to take them out and put them somewhere else. So you could pull out your weekly actions and stick them somewhere that you see them all the time. And then they're also undated. So it's actually not Q1, Q2, Q3, and Q4, because you could date these for whatever you want. Now they do sell a set of stickers to date all these planners. I did not get the stickers because I just didn't think that that was something Sam was going to do. And that was who I bought this in mind for, was for Sam. So I did not buy the stickers, but if you like stickers and you want a way to date them, it comes with a sticker at the top that has the name of the month, and then it comes with number stickers to put on all of the days. So Sam is just gonna have to date them himself. So it's undated, so that's the first like monthly overview. And then it's got 2 pages of monthly goals, again, just like the big size Makse Life, but a smaller size, but it's still, you know, the bigger one is 2 pages like this as well. And then it's got a dot grid page, and then it's got a weekly actions, and that's all it has. It doesn't have a planner, it's just a weekly action for every week of that month. And then at the end, it's got the same monthly reflections, and then you go into the next month. And then at the back, it's got a quarterly check-in where you would check in with the compass assessment before you moved on to the next quarter. And then it's just got some notes pages in the back, and then a pocket. And the paper quality, fantastic. The Makse Life paper is my favorite paper, hands down. Mine did get a little bit smushed in transport. That happened with one of my other packages too. I think the USPS just might be a little bit overwhelmed right now, but I really, really like these. Again, if you have a planner that you really like and you're looking for just an additional goal setting system, or if you're like Sam and you're not a big planner and you just want a goal setting system, I think this is a great option. If you know me, you know that I love a coil, so I don't know that this could be something ever that I use consistently, but that is just me. I know that other people aren't as coil obsessed as I am. Okay, so the next one let's talk about is this Finisher's Journal. And normally I do not accept products that are bound like this. And the Makse Life is an exception because I love that company and I'm using the coiled version. When other journal companies like this that have a bound planner reach out, I typically say no because I know it's not something that I'm going to use. And so why am I even going to bother sharing it with you? The only reason I accepted this one is because the layout looks perfect for work. And I just was like, I'm tempted. Is it worth not having a coil to have a great layout for work? And it's, sleek. I don't know. So let's go ahead and flip through it. I realized also once I got it in my hands that something else I don't like about it is the paper is very yellow. I mean, you can tell from the background, like the paper is super yellow. I don't know if I could look at that every day at work. So it is also a goal focused planner. If I do use this for work, I won't use the goal sections. So it has an index at the front, kind of like a bullet journal. And then it has an achievement goal plan, so my 90-day goal, and then a secondary goal. So you pick a secondary goal and it's got how you're gonna break it down, motivations, rewards. This one also got smushed in transport, and so I don't like the way that this looks at the bottom. But I also have perfectionist tendencies when it comes to products and things like that. So that is probably, hopefully yours wouldn't come like that if you decide that you want to grab this journal. So then you have a habit goal plan. So you pick 3 habits to work towards your 90-day goal. Then you map out your morning and your evening routine. And then it gets into week 1. So this is your week 1 plan. You've got 13 weeks left this quarter, your 90-day goal, your big 3 of the week, your habit trackers for all 3 of your habits. And then for each day, it's a 2-page layout. So it starts with Monday. So it is dated with the days of the week, but it is not dated in terms of like dates. So you'll be able to add your own date. It's got a place to check off your morning routine. And then it's got an hourly layout from 5 a.m. to 6 p.m. It has it on the half hours, and then it just has 7 and 8. So again, this would be perfect for me for work. I love the way that this is laid out. It's got most important task of the day, secondary tasks, additional tasks, and then it shows you to either, complete, migrate, delete, or in progress. And then it's got a whole space for notes, which I could use to just jot down things that happen during the day at work. And then nightly recap, your day in 1 line, a lesson learned. I don't know if I would really use that for work. And then evening routine. So I really, really like this. I think that this layout for work could work really well. And it does seem to lay pretty flat. The reason I really like coils is I like being able to flip it on its back to write on it. Because it lays flat, even this early on in the planner, I think it could be okay. Now at this point, it's the paper quality and the fact that it's kind of yellow paper. So then we keep going Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Saturday and Sunday both have their own same full pages. Again, if I use this for work planner, that doesn't really matter, but good to know if this is a planner you might want. Then you have a weekly review. So they encourage you to write down your biggest win in the index. Oh, that's interesting. So they want you to go back to page 4 and write down your big win on the index. That's kind of cool. Task migration, habit goals. See if you completed 80%. I love that. Encouraging you to do 80%. 100% is really difficult and an over-ambitious goal. Shoot for 80% all the time. And then it has you rate from like 0 to 100%. How far did you get on your most important tasks? And then weekly notes. And then you move into week 2. And it's got the same thing for week 2. And then let's see. I don't think that there are any like monthly pages. I think it just goes like this, like week 5, week 6, so on and so forth, which again would be good for work because I don't use like a monthly overview for work. And I like that it has 2 ribbons. So you could put 1 ribbon on this page that's got your, your weekly plan and your habit tracker. And then you could have the other ribbon on your actual day. I also like that there's quotes throughout it. I don't know. I'm really tempted, even though it's not perfect, but none of the planners really that I looked at were absolutely perfect, right? So it's definitely a good option. Okay, so then at the end, it's got your quarter review. So how did your 90-day goals go? And then it's got a bunch of notes pages in the back. So we will definitely use one of these to do a pen test. So I grabbed my Papermate Flare. I grabbed my Sharpie pen. This one I've been using in my plum paper, so they're around all the time. And then the Sharpie Esh Gel. Somebody did message me saying that the Sharpie pen comes in a thicker pen than the one that I'm using, so it might be closer to my Flare. I haven't ordered them yet. I'm really tempted because I just ordered a 12-pack of this size. Oh, I like how I just wrote pen. Sharpie pen. And then, oh, this is the 10 Esh Gel. I don't like the 10, but we'll still get a feel. Okay, give it all a sec. So the Esh Gel did smear a little bit, but it was also the last one that I wrote with. And then on the back, I mean, it's shadow. This is not great paper, but this is the page that's more important to me than this page. right? And so I could not write on this page. And then this page would never have a shadow problem because it's always on this page. So I don't know, something to think about, definitely an option. You can get this on Amazon too. So if you have like an Amazon gift card you're trying to use, but it only comes in black, which is kind of a bummer. Oh, there's also a pocket in the back. It's like I've never reviewed a planner before, but there's a pocket. Oh, it's got like fabric on the side. That's kind of cool. And then a elastic to keep it shut. All right, last but certainly not least is the Vibe and Thrive Planner from Judy Holler. Again, I read her book. I loved her book. I love her podcast. They did send this planner to me for review. I've gotten to know Judy and her one person on her team, Amanda, who's also a planner girl and loves paper and stationery. And so we've bonded over that. And so they did offer to send this to me for review. And I said, absolutely, I totally want to check it out. I, however, did get one of the misprints. So if you're looking at this, you can't really read. It says Vibe and Thrive in hot pink behind there, but it is a misprint. It is supposed to be much brighter than this, where you can like really read the word Vibe and Thrive, like hot, hot pink. And then there's also a yellow version with Vibe and Thrive both in a yellow. This is a large planner. Like this is basically an 8.5 by 11 size piece of paper. And then when you add the coil on, it's bigger than that. Like it's bigger than 8.5 by 11. But that's because there's a lot of content here. It does have a metal coil. It's a black metal coil. The cover is like one of those kind of smooth, large cardstock covers. Probably not the sturdiest cover in the whole world. Like it's probably, I don't know. Like if you're throwing this in a bag every day, it might get a little bit bent up, but that's, you know, the cover is not the most important thing. I have learned that over time. So you've got an intro page, and then it's got more intro, kind of talking about how to use this planner. So what is goal focused planning, how to plan out your goals, and then a little note from Judy. It's got a bunch of quotes in here, which I absolutely love. So it starts with a vision board page. I feel like all these goal planners have like a vision board page. So this page is for your annual goals, so it's your personal and your professional goal, although I'm pretty sure that this planner is only a 90-day planner, but we'll get there. And it is thick. I mean, that's a lot for 90 days. So then you go into the next 90. So what are you going to do on the next 90 days? I will let go of, I will commit to, one thing I want to learn, et cetera, and then kind of a place to just brainstorm for the next 90 days. The paper is also bright white. Like it is even whiter than my background. You can tell that it is a bright white paper. And then here's another kind of dot grid paper. I feel like these two pages, I feel like it's kind of, I don't know if I need that much like brainstorming type space. But I know that Judy is a very like mind mappy kind of brainstorming creative. And so I feel like that I think she really just created a planner that works perfectly for her. And it also happens to work really well for other people. So then we get into the monthly layout, and this is an undated planner as well. So all the planners we've looked at today are undated. So you could start at any month, and it is a Monday start. I love, love, love that. I don't fully understand why the font is different. Like why Tuesday and Friday and Saturday have a different font than the other days. I'm not really sure what that's about. And then you've got a place for your monthly goals with yellow. I also love that all the colors in this planner are pink and yellow. Then we get into the weekly layout, and there's also daily pages. So don't freak out if you're like, this is not enough space for me, because this is just meant to be an overview of the week. This is one of those planners that's got a monthly, a weekly, and a daily for every single day. So you write the week at the top, you've got priorities for the week, and then you have columns, basically a vertical layout, Monday through Friday, and you have space for morning, afternoon, evening, and then Saturday and Sunday don't have quite as much space. But again, this is just kind of an overview page, because then we go into the daily pages. And here is why this is a thick planner, because you have a full two page, 8.5 by 11 spread for every single day. Like this is a very in-depth planner. So it starts with a Monday, you put the date at the top, you have your top 3 priorities for the day, and then you have your morning vibe check. And so you write your 10 I am power statements. You guys know I've talked about those before, and I do love my I am power statements. I'm writing them right now in the journal that I'm doing morning pages in, but it would be cool to have a space for them. I'm also not doing 10 right now, so I'd have to come up with a few more. And then you have a space to write 3 things that you're grateful for. I love that. And then you have one thing I'm excited about today, and one way I can love myself and practice self-care. And then it says, don't forget to schedule it. I love that. Then you have an hourly layout that goes from 6 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. on the half hour. And it kind of spans over those 2 pages. So you've got morning and you've got afternoon. I love that we've got half hours, and I love that. I wish that these were on the same page. Like I get why it's morning and then the hours and then the evening, but I I like to keep my planner like this on my desk, right? And so if I had this, I would only be able to see until 12:30. My desk isn't big enough to take up this much space on my desk. So that's the one part of the planner that is not my favorite in terms of the daily layout, because I would actually love to use this if on one side it had all the hours and then it had like the morning vibe and the evening vibe, or you could do it columns, whatever, on the other side, so that I could do that and keep it folded over that way. That's just a personal preference. So then you have today's build up to myself. It says I have a yes and mindset. So today I will say yes to. Then you have your evening vibe check. And so I got out of my comfort zone today. The best part of my day. Did I make a mistake? And she talks about how her mindset is no mistakes, only gifts. So what do you learn from your mistakes and the value of mistakes? And then I move my body today, and then a space for notes. And then you have that for every single day. So here's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday and Sunday even have their own full pages. Now, I don't know that I need all this space for Saturday and Sunday, but you do have a full page for Saturday and a full page for Sunday, and then it goes into the next weekly overview. And then at the end of the month, or after the last Sunday of the month, so however that would work, it actually works out really well in January. It's Sunday the 31st. Then you have a victory lap. So 3 goals I gained momentum this month are my most exciting fear experiment this month. It's just like some journaling monthly reflections, and then another kind of dot grid brainstorming page, and then another one. Again, I feel like this page is not necessary. And then you go into the next month and you have the whole thing for the next month. And this is a 90-day planner. So you get to the end of the entire 90 days. You have one more like monthly reflections, and then you have a 90-day vibe check. So what did you accomplish this quarter? What did you accomplish over the last 90 days? And then that's it. Here's a picture of what it should look like, how bright the pink should be, and then the yellow option. And then it says, to buy your next 90 days. Oh, I have a love-hate relationship with this planner, y'all. I love these sections. I don't know what I need these sections for unless I was using it as a work planner, and like I explained with the coil situation. I don't know. Let's test out the paper. Let me go to one of these. Oh, this one says victory on it. I don't really want to ruin that. Let's see. Where's this one up here that well, and the pages are also numbered. Are there any pages in the back there aren't really any great pages for me to... Let's test the pens at the beginning. I couldn't find really a good page for me to pen test. Let's just do it up in here in this corner. Okay. The paper feels good, and again, it's bright white, which I absolutely love. I like the way it feels, like writing on it. I do wish these Sharpies were thicker. I need to look into that. I should do the gel pen first so it has a second to dry. Oh, well, nothing happened. Okay, let's flip it over. Yeah, it's pretty good. I mean, the flare shadows a smidge, but I do have a heavy hand, and the Sharpie S-Gel does ridge a little bit. The Sharpie pen is perfect. This is like kind of the magic pen that I like the way that it writes, and it doesn't shadow or ridge to the other side. It's pretty magical. So that's probably the pen I would use in this planner. I don't know. I am very torn, y'all. I love things about it, but then it also feels like a lot. So I don't know yet. Let me know down in the comments if any of these 3 planners jumped out at you, or is there anything that you are still looking for in terms of a planner for 2021? I think all of these are great options for different things, work planners, goal planners, etc. But I'm glad that I was able to share them with you today. All right, I got a new water bottle, and this may seem ridiculously over the top, but I've had it for 2 days and it has already helped me immensely. So I have been struggling to drink enough water. I know that I've been dehydrated, and so I was thinking back to the time that I was the best at drinking water, and that was over the summer when I had my gallon-sized water bottle. And first off, I left that water bottle back in New York, and second off, it's almost like too big. Like having it out on my counter and just dealing with it, it was too big. I wasn't finishing it with enough time to like sleep through the night. And so I wanted to get something a little bit smaller, but then I also wanted something that was a lot easier to measure in terms of actual amount if I do fill it up for a second time. Now it is in milliliters because the US is silly and is the only one who doesn't do milliliters, which is fine. I can obviously convert it. So if I go all the way to the top, 200 milliliters is about 75 ounces, which is a good goal. And that's what I'm starting with, is just one of these. But I do know that with water, once you start consistently doing a lot, it is easier to do more. So I'm starting with just one of these 75 ounces. And then if and when I go to start filling up more, it's easier for me to track exactly how much of a second one that I drank. And this is just way smaller for me to have on the counter to just go. Now, I am still doing the same sort of extra thing I did before, which I'm filling up one of these types of cups with ice and pouring it into this. And I'm doing that because I love straws and because I need ice cold water. So I will end up drinking probably slightly more than that because some of the ice will melt. But the goal is to drink as much as I can before the ice melts so that I'm not doing that. And then that helps me drink my water quicker. So that is how I am going back to drinking more water. It is one of my big focuses for January, is to get back into drinking a good amount of water. So if you watched last week's vlog, you saw that Sam got me the Aviary cocktail book for Christmas. He got me the big one with all the cocktails. Well, I don't know if I mentioned it, but he also got my parents the specialty versions. So my dad and my stepmom, he sent them like the classic version. I think they call it like the off for people who have an office. It's got like, you know, an old fashioned and all of the very classic cocktails. And it's like leather bound and very classy. For my mom and stepdad, he got them too. He got them the holiday cocktails, and then he also got them the summer cocktails. We're not digging into that one quite yet, but we figured for New Year's Eve, we would make one of the fancy cocktails from the holiday cocktail book. I will tell you, these cocktails are super fancy and there's a lot involved. Like, we are gonna make our own ice. We had to go get some special ingredients from the liquor store. The ones that we did not have peach puree, and we did not have this, which I've never heard before. It's called pisco. It's from Peru. It's a type of like cognac or brandy it's made with wine. I don't know. And then we had punch, we had Saint Germain, and we had peach schnapps. It actually called for peach, a different kind of peach liqueur, but I figured this was close enough. We're not buying more. And then fresh fruit, and then chai tea. So it looks so good. So we're making, let me find it again. It is called peach rum punch. So we have to make our own ice cubes, and then we make the actual punch. And so it's still really early in the day, but we need to get the ice cubes in the freezer so that they can freeze before we're actually ready to enjoy this cocktail. But I wanted to show you, obviously I took a picture of all the ingredients like set up before we get started. All right, this smells delicious. I know it's very heavy, so I'm not sure how well this is gonna work for me. Let's see. Oh, there we go. Okay, now that one might be a little bit full. So I'm doing this down in the studio because there's just no freezer space in the freezer in my mom's apartment. So I made it up there so I didn't have to bring all the gizmos down. All right, now I'm making a huge mess, you guys. I shouldn't be trying to talk and pour ice at the same time. Okay, let me try and like wiggle this around to make it a little bit more balanced, maybe. Oh yeah, okay, that's pretty good. I might need to wipe it down a little bit. Anyway, so I decided, so I made it up there so that I wouldn't have to bring down like the peeler and the strainer and all the things. It was pretty labor intensive. Sam and I worked together on it, and it still took us about probably 30 minutes to do it all from start to finish. So these cocktails are delicious, but labor intensive. All right, I actually have way more mixture than I do space in my ice cube trays. So I'm gonna go ahead and get these two in the freezer, and then if they finish in time, I'll take the ice cubes out and pour the rest of it in. Otherwise, this probably mixed with some kind of liquor would just make a really good drink. Because all this is peach puree, water, freshly squeezed orange juice, freshly squeezed lemon juice, and then you took the peels from the orange and the lemon and you muddled it with sugar, and then you mixed it into there and then poured it through the strainer. So it's like lemony, orangey sugar. And this is gonna be the ice cube. So it would be really good mixed with like just vodka or rum or something. All right, I'm really glad that I didn't plan to do those other videos, because the one I did need to do, and then I also did a video for my patrons for something for them, that took way longer than I thought it would. I have a lot of January goals. So I'm already late for upstairs. I just looked at the time. My family has been texting me, where are you? Like, all of my siblings are like, why are you not up here? So I am gonna go upstairs. I'm gonna take my camera with me. I think I'll at least share the countdown, but I don't know how much of family time I'm gonna capture, unless it's something I'll capture when we make the cocktails. Actually, let's go ahead and check on the ice. All right, they're like solidified. They kind of feel like jelly almost right now. They're not quite frozen, not enough that I can take it out and put more in. I did go ahead and put this stuff in the fridge so that it's cold, and then maybe it'll freeze faster, or we can just have more ice cubes for later. But they're looking good. Not quite done yet. Okay, working on the cocktail. Right now I have chai tea. It's like foaming up the camera. You can't even see it. Lemon peel and sugar in here that I'm stirring. And then I
want to start with your soup and salad, please.
Soup?
Soup.
Yes, it is salad.
There's not soup, Mom.
What are you saying about it?
Oh, not soup and salad.
Bread and salad. In the pitcher, we have the peach liqueur, the rum. We switched to a dark rum, and then the pisco. So I'm gonna finish letting this sit and letting the tea. What's the word? Steep. That's the word I wanted. And then I'm gonna strain this, add it to this, and then stick that in the fridge and let it just chill. Our ice cubes are almost done. It's gonna be a post-dinner drink. I thought we were gonna be able to enjoy it with dinner, but turns out I was wrong because dinner is basically ready. My mom has made this delicious beef tenderloin. Well, that's one piece of, you put it back in the oven.
Yeah. Because people said no.
It was a little too rare. And baked potatoes and their salad. It's almost dinner time. Happy New Year. It is officially 2021 and I am so thankful. I feel like you can probably relate. A big sigh of relief and just thankful for a fresh start. I've never been more thankful for a fresh start. I definitely stand by the fact that there is nothing magical about January 1st. If you want to start your goals in the middle of a month or a year or a quarter or a week or a day, you absolutely can, and it can still be just as motivating and refreshing. But this year in particular, it feels very nice for a fresh start. Not that I'm gonna be doing a whole lot today towards my goals. I'm actually hoping to just relax most of the day with my family. I snuck away. I'm actually in my parents' room right now because everybody is watching TV out in the living room, except Sam is playing his PS5 in the other room. I could have gone down to the studio, but I just was kind of lazy. I'm feeling a little bit tired today, but we had so much fun last night. So we were joking in the afternoon like that we were gonna maybe celebrate New Year's midnight in New York and then go to bed at like 11:05 because staying up late is just not really my thing. But my whole family, well, at least the family that was here, we didn't have everybody here, but my siblings that were here, we just had so much fun. We played games. That's pretty much all we did the whole night. Like we just played games and hung out and had drinks. We finished up our fancy cocktail. It was so delicious. It was a lot of work at the end of the day, but it ended up being so delicious. And I'm just so glad that we made the effort to make it. I don't know that it's something I would make all the time, but I do like the idea of maybe once a month going all out like that and making a fancy cocktail and truly enjoying it. And then we ended up just having a dance party in the living room. Like, I don't know when the last game I think ended at like 11:30 and it seemed silly to like start a new game when we were 30 minutes from midnight. So we decided to just keep the music going and have a dance party in the living room. And at that point, everybody had plenty to drink. I do think one of the things I've gotten better at over the last year or so is stopping drinking when I know I'm like an hour or two from bed, both from a getting through the night with my bladder perspective. I don't know if that's TMI, but also from I'm already buzzed and I don't need more drinks to then just go to bed. Like by the time those drinks that I would have in that last hour or two hit my system, I would be going to bed. So it's not worth it. I'm just gonna ride the buzz that I have and enjoy the rest of my night and then go to bed. So I definitely did that. I stopped drinking at like 11:30. We didn't even do like a cheers at midnight because none of us really like champagne, to be honest. We just like watched the TV. We unmuted it for literally the countdown. We counted down to midnight, celebrated midnight, and then the dance party continued and we hung out for a little bit longer, and then everybody just kind of, I don't know, started trickling off one by one. It was not really like a whole, we're all going to bed. Everybody just kind of started sneaking away, but I can't believe I stayed up until almost 1 o'clock last night. And then I didn't even really sleep in today because my body just like, I don't know, I can't sleep in. I got up at like 8 and was like, okay, I guess I'm gonna start my day. I felt like that's probably better than, I probably could have forced myself to go back to sleep, but it's probably better to get up and get back onto like a regular sleep schedule. So now my family and I are chilling on the couch and I think we're gonna start Pitch Perfect and do a Pitch Perfect marathon. 1, 2, and 3. It's something that everybody enjoys, something that everybody has seen. So if you need to come in and out, whatever, like it's not that big of a deal. It's not like we're watching a brand new movie that somebody hasn't seen before or nobody's seen. So I think that is the plan. All right, it is time for my first official morning routine of 2021. Yes, it is the second. I did not do it yesterday. I was just not in the vibe to do it yesterday. So some of the things that I do daily, I will go back and do yesterday's too, literally. So like the gratitude journal, I'll go back and do yesterday's. I'll explain what everything is in just a second. I've mentioned this little carrier in a few places before. In fact, the company that created this carrier sent it to me a long time ago, and it took me a long time to figure out what I actually wanted to use it for that worked well for me. And once I finally figured it out, it's just been absolutely perfect. So it's like my little morning routine carrier. And I just did a bunch of Instagram stories talking about this as well. So if there's something that I don't cover, go check out the highlight on my Instagram profile, Play with Laken, and see if I cover it there. If not, feel free to let me know down in the comments if you have any additional questions. But this is my little morning routine basket. And my favorite thing about it besides having it all contained together, is that if I want to do my morning routine in a different place, I totally can. So during the weekdays, normally I go sit on the couch over there. But on the weekends, I like to bring it over here into the bed. So I use an app called Routinery where I track all the different pieces of my morning routine there. And sometimes I skip them or sometimes I shorten them, but the Routinery app gives me the guideline and tells me, okay, here's what's next. So I'm not trying to remember all of the things. So here, they're all kind of broken up into little sections that kind of make sense to me. So this section is books that are like every single day or every single week. So I have my 100 Days to Brave devotional. I did this for the last 100 days of 2020, but I'm starting it again. This year I have my Daily Stoic. I read it for the first time last year, almost every single day, and I'm so excited to get back into it. Then this book is new to me, and I'm not going to start reading it till Monday, but it's 5 small changes for the mind. And so you're supposed to read and act upon one every single week. I grabbed this book totally on a whim when I was at this really small little kind of boutique type shop, like gift shop. And I thought that this would be fun for 2021. So I will read this on Monday. Specifically, I will read whatever it is. So I'm not actually starting that one today. So this section is nonfiction books that I'm reading. Yes, I have 3 nonfiction books right now, only because I was already reading 2. I typically will work on one personal development nonfiction. So that's Untamed right now. And then a social justice book. So this is How to Be an Anti-Racist, but I just could not wait to start this book. And since losing weight is a big goal for me in 2021, I wanted to start it. So those are my nonfiction books. And then over here are all the things that I write in. So I have my 5-year journal that is daily gratitude. I just write one thing I'm thankful for every day. This is new to me this year and I'm so excited. So it is the Daily Stoic Journal. So it is a daily journal that goes with the Daily Stoic book. So it has you do a morning and an evening reflection for each of the Daily Stoic prompts. Now that I'm saying that out loud, I wonder if I want to just keep it on the nightstand. No, I don't know. Because I don't know when I'm going to get the evening one into my routine. And you know what? I'm going to say right now, I'm going to let myself off the hook. If I don't want to start the evening one right now, that's okay. If it's going to be blank on the evening ones for the first however long, until I'm ready to incorporate that into my evening routine, which still needs work, to be honest, then you know what? It's going to be just fine. I think I'm going to treat this journal the same way that I treat the Daily Stoic. If I miss a day, that's okay. If I miss a day, I'm not going to go back and reread it. 100 Days to Brave, I do go back and reread if I miss a day. Daily Stoic, I just move on. I just move on to the next day because it's too much to try and soak it in. So I think that's my plan there with the journal. And then this is my morning pages notebook. It's just a lined plum paper A5 notebook. And I will write my I am statements at the top, which came from the book Fear is My Homeboy by Judy Holler. If you want to know more about the I am statements, check out that book. And then I do morning pages for the rest of the page. So really it's morning page and it's very short. This is my health planner. So this is also from Plum Paper. You'll see a theme here. This is an A5. It is a me layout that I got customized with categories that focus on health. So we have workout stats, like my Apple Watch stats, macros, water, sleep, and joy. And I'm not going to fill this one out today either because I'm diving back into this planner on Monday. And then last but certainly not least is my reading planner. And I realized I hadn't shown my new one in a vlog. I showed the original one that I had that was an A5. Well, I decided to upgrade to the 7x9. So this is also Plum Paper. It is a monthly layout. So it's a monthly planner. And what I do on the monthly layout is I track the books that I'm reading. So I have a mild liner color for each of the books that I'm reading and I highlight on the days that I've read. You can see I haven't done anything the last 2 days and I actually haven't even added How Not to Die on this layout. And then there are a bunch of line notes pages where I'm going to take notes from the books that I'm reading. That's what the section is for. And then in the back, I have all the books that I want to read broken up by category. So I'll quickly flip through these. I know a lot of people were like, can I see your lists? So you can screenshot. This is business. This is friendship. Marriage. I have one blank space here because there's another book that I have that we own that I can't remember the name of off the top of my head when I was working on this that I want to add there. We have memoirs, physical health, productivity, social justice, spiritual, mental health, has 2 pages front and back. Also, the stars are the books that I own, and then the hearts are ones where somebody has said, I really, really recommend that book. I went ahead and put a heart next to it. And then fiction, I just have a ton. And I got these book recommendations from you on Instagram, and then I put them in a Google Doc and alphabetized them, and then I deleted the Google Doc. The purpose of the Google Doc was just to put them in alphabetical order, but there are 4 full pages of fiction. No, I am not going to read all these books in 2021. I just wanted a place to keep track of my books. So that is my little morning routine basket. And then of course we've got my mild liners that I use to either highlight in here or actually highlight in the books. I've got my Sharpie pen, which is what I like to use on the plum paper. So these, nope, not these two, I will use the Sharpie pen. And then I've got the Sharpie S Gel, which I will use for the journaling because it just like flows smoother and it's easier to write fast with the Sharpie S Gel. So I needed to get the holiday cover off my plum paper, and this one I had ordered pre-snipped like this. Like when I ordered it from them, I asked for it to be removable. And when I did that, and when I ordered this 6 month, the 6 month started in November, I had a fall cover on it, and then I ordered this one with it. And I just assumed that I would be ordering from Plum Paper again before the new year, and I would order a cover to put on it in January. Well, I did order from Plum Paper since then, but I forgot to throw an A5 removable cover for January that was kind of more generic in my cart. And I didn't want to go place an order and pay for shipping just for a cover for my planner. So at first I was just gonna put the fall one back on because this one is pretty holiday, and the fall one, it is fall, but it's still a little, the quote's about like change or something, and I felt like it could be applicable. But then I remembered that I had my A5 reading planner that I was no longer using because I switched to the 7x9 that I talked about this morning. And so what I did, but that one I did not order the cover to be removable because I didn't plan to remove it. So what I did was I snipped it myself. So all I did was take the cover, and you slide it like a little bit to one direction, and then you individually snip every single hole, and then you can snap it off of the old one and snap it onto the new one. So now this is the cover right now for my daily, and eventually I will order some other, you know, A5 size removable covers for my daily throughout the year. But for now, this is actually perfect since reading is one of my big goals. So I did the front and I did the back one, and I love the way that it turned out. Also, I don't regret trimming the plastic piece off of my plum paper in the slightest. Hello, happy Sunday afternoon. It is already almost 4 o'clock. I cannot believe it. Today has flown by. I basically been spending all day, or at least all afternoon, filming. This morning, there was a little bit of a crisis. I got up, did my morning routine, was feeling good. I have a lot of things that I wanted to do today, but I was like, I can get all this done and still get some rest in, since today's kind of, you know, the last day before it's really back to real life and no more holiday time. All of my siblings are like gone and back at their own things at this point. So it's like just back to normal life. And then we have 2 weeks left here in Chicago, and then we're gonna be driving back to New York. But anyway, so this morning, did my morning routine, pulled out my computer to start working on my to-do list, and realized that my computer charger was broken. And it was like not connected anymore, and therefore not charging my computer anymore. So had to get a new one of those, which didn't realize how expensive I have a Microsoft laptop, like a Microsoft Surface, but the laptop, not the tablet. I think it's the same charger, but it's really, really expensive. So that was a fun purchase. And then I filmed, and filming took a lot longer than I thought it would, but I got all of that done. And now I'm just exhausted, and I don't feel like talking because I just spent the last however many hours talking. But I do feel like I need to go upstairs and hang out with my family. That's where I'm headed. But I think I'm gonna close out the vlog here. Oh, one more thing I actually want to make sure that I mention, and I haven't mentioned it the past few months, is Wild University. I've talked about Wild University before. I have a whole video where I do a Q&A about it, and I have a bunch of information in the highlight bubble on my Instagram. But if you are not familiar, Wild University is an online platform full of a ton of amazing courses created by planners, but about all kinds of different topics: self-care, home, planning, productivity, goal setting, all kinds of amazing, amazing topics from incredible instructors. And the reason that I wanna make sure that I bring it up is there's only, as of the time this video goes live, there's only 2 more days to sign up for January. You have till January 10th to sign up. The January major is budgeting. And I know that for a lot of us, myself included, budgeting is a big goal for 2021. And so if that is true for you, I highly recommend signing up for Wild University. The budgeting course is being taught by Jen Dufour from Jen Plans, and I'm so excited. I have scheduled an hour a week in my planner, 1 lunch hour every week during the month of January to work on this course. I'm super excited. So I wanted to make sure that I mentioned it to you. If you have any questions about Wild University, please let me know down in the comments below. I will link it in the description box if you want to join us. Now that's it. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, please click that subscribe button. I upload new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, all about helping you achieve your goals. Thank you so much for watching. Happy planning. And I have 4 planners. This is 3, Laken. What? Now they do set a cell where you would put your it is from it is officially really to start off on a fresh foot. I thought this was